Recently there was this video where this man was saying things about taking care of kids. Okay, this guy from, I think he's from Malaysia.
Bill Gates Bill
Ah
Gates
yeah,
kan
so
Elon Musk juga no.
so it was a stitch that he made from another woman. So this woman was, I think, somewhat complaining, being pregnant for 9 months, and then after that she said jaga anak, so you have to take care of her kids. And I think the guy responded in a way that I thought was not particularly well thought through, because it seems that they were talking about different things, right? So there is some truth in what he's saying also lah. A bit, I can clarify later on.
Rajak kita.
Yeah, but he has to be clear as to what he's talking about, and I thought he wasn't particularly clear. So I can understand why so many people are upset and so on. You saw that video, right?
Yeah.
And I think you also shared, right?
Yeah, I already shared on my IG story lah, my piece. Yeah.
And you were not happy with the guy's views, right?
Of course.
Why?
Not. No, because he quote examples from Elon Musk and Bill Gates.
Okay.
These are billionaires, okay?
Okay.
You may be a billionaire, but you may have terrible relationship with your children. So if you want to take an example, you don't take examples from the billionaires in this dunya. You take example from the perfect human being, which is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Okay.
And it's very interesting that he mentioned that he didn't mention Rasulullah. He mentioned that men go to war. Kan? Men go to war.
I think he meant that metaphorically lah.
Yeah lah, I know. But then macam Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions legit went to war, okay? And on top of that, they took care of children, And I've not heard any men like macam inspirational figures that we should look up to, like Rasulullah, the companions, or like scholars who did not jaga anak. Habib Umar.
Okay.
Habib Umar is a scholar during our time. He has 30 children.
Habib Umar in Yemen now has 30 children. Okay.
Yes. Despite him going to da'wah and then going overseas and everything semua, he allocated time for each individual child. He sees how detrimental it is for the child's development if the child grows up with an absent father.
Oh, I see.
Okay. So it is.
Wait.
Yeah, what?
But that's not what he's talking about, right, this guy.
Dia cakap jaga anak, what?
Yeah, so that's why I say they are talking about two different kinds of jaga anak. Because later on in the video, he does say that the mother can bring the baby into a boy, but the father is the one who brings the boy into a man.
He did say that.
Yeah, he did say that. So
I didn't catch that
so
part.
he is. I think by saying that, he's also saying that at some stage, the father should be greatly present.
Yalah, but then you cannot be macam dah besar at some stage baru you nak be present, lepas tu time kecil-kecil you tak nak be present, right?
Okay. So that one.
Sayyidina Ali also said that below 7 is very crucial. It's very important for children to get a lot of play. And like mother and father should focus on play. And siapa yang nak play tu semua? That's the father lah.
Okay, this is how I understand it lah.
Yeah.
I understand it in terms of the qualities for each gender. Okay, so males have a certain quality, fathers have a certain quality, and mothers have a certain quality.
Yeah, correct.
And I think what is important is the objective of running a household, right?
Okay.
So I think he considers to be important being a billionaire, right? Because he says early on in the video,
That's important to him lah.
yeah. So that's what he considers to be important. Of course, that's not what we consider to be important.
It's not important, as a Muslim, that shouldn't be your most important thing.
Yeah. It's not the most important thing. Okay lah, everybody wants financial stability, but there are also other things that we look at. But to him, when he says any man who has had to do anything important, and he quotes Elon Musk, Bill Gates, billionaires in Malaysia, you can see that he sees this as being important. And he is constructing his entire argument on this premise that important means this. Okay? So what is important to us is something else, but what to him is considered as important is this.
Okay lah, we can respect that lah.
So we can respect his view of what he considers to be important. It's different from what we see as important, but if you want to understand him, you must see what he considers to be important first. Okay. Now about what I was saying about different qualities for different genders, right? So women generally are more compassionate, more caring, and more nurturing also in some sense. And I think babies generally will feel more comfort with the mother when they are in the infant stage. Maybe when they are toddlers or when they are preschoolers, then the time with the father is more enjoyable to them. But I think when he is talking about jaga anak, I imagine he's referring to the infant stage, because he staged his video to the woman who talks about childbirth and then delivery. So I think it would be reasonable to assume he's talking about jaga anak in the infant stage lah. Because to be fair to him, I mean, to be fair, if you want to understand what he's saying, to be fair, he also talks about the father being present later on. Right?
Maybe he's just not clear lah.
Yeah, so I think he wasn't particularly clear about which stage of jaga anak he's talking about lah. And I think that's why a lot of people got triggered and got upset.
But the problem is, I also understand the woman punya video, because the woman is talking about okay, let's see the majority case, right?
Okay.
Because Elon Musk and Bill Gates are not the majority people. They are like maybe, I don't know, 5% of the community yang billionaires. Yang lain semua middle income families. The woman has to work. That's why. So the woman has to go through all the pain of pregnancy and going labour, and then during the postpartum is a time where she needs to heal. Okay, she needs to heal. So she needs support from the husband, and the husband is just, oh, aku punya kerja bukan jaga anak apa. Aku punya kerja is just kasih kau duit. That's not right. Macam, where's the compassion, where's the mercy, where's the rahmah? And macam, if you are a billionaire, okay lah, you can hire a maid for her. But if you're not, if you expect the woman to work, then you should also be present at home and tukar diaper tu semua and help out wherever that is necessary. I am so angry.
No, I think that's another problem about what, especially about when you hear things on social media, you don't have time to process and think about it and even give people the benefit of the doubt. So I think one issue that one thing that I felt he did a bit, he could have done better, is to clarify the different kinds of family environments, family situations,
correct,
because majority of people, I would think, in this day and age where things are so expensive, majority of families are dual income.
Yeah, correct.
Right? Rightly or wrongly, majority of families are dual income, right? And I think for women who have to give birth and then there's some maternity period and then go back to work and then also work long hours like the man and then comes back and
it's
then has to cook.
It's not fair for the woman. The
Well,
woman is doing like most of the thing and the man just apa kasih duit.
yeah, so I think this kind of women expect that, okay lah, both of us have to work.
Yeah.
When I come back, I have to clean and cook.
Correct.
The least you can do is to take care of the kids, right? So I think that is fair.
That's fair, correct.
And that would be the majority of families lah, which is why I think a lot of people are upset.
Actually, last time also kan, Rasulullah SAW and his companions had slaves to help out lah the house chores and taking care of children. But there are also couples who, like Sayyidina Ali radhiyallahu an and Fatimah radhiyallahu anha, they couldn't afford a slave.
Okay.
And when they couldn't afford a slave, the men understood the assignment and they helped each other out.
Actually, I saw this in the comments though.
Yeah, they help each other out. And macam, you know, marriage is not about claiming each other, like, oh, you have to do this for me, I have to do this for you. It's not about that tau. It's about having mercy to each other.
Yeah.
Having mercy on each other. It's about mawaddah, rahmah.
Yeah, of course that's important, but and I think we're talking about this majority case, which is a dual income family lah. And I think this kind of things have to be fair. Not just we don't just strive for justice, we also strive for compassion.
Yeah, correct.
Right? So
correct.
it's not about rights, it's about understanding also. Okay, but wait. But from what he says, I think clearly he's not talking about the majority.
Is it?
I mean, yeah, he's talking about Elon Musk and Bill Gates and billionaires in Malaysia. So I think he's not talking
No,
about.
but then the Bill Gates and Elon Musk, if he's talking about that kind of people, then they should have mates, what?
Yeah, and I imagine they do.
Yeah, but then why is he saying that the woman has to take care when, you know, macam...
Okay, so hang on. So
Faham tak?
okay, let's be clear on a few things there. Because this one is a very sensitive topic that I think I want to get right lah.
Okay.
Okay, so first of all, most of the comments that are, I would say, triggered by what he says, I think they're referring to situations today where there are dual income families where the women go out to work. Okay, and I don't think he's referring to that because he specifies.
That's part of your husnuzon.
This is what I'm assuming lah, because he's talking about high performance monetarily, financially, billionaires and all that. So I imagine that for these people like Elon Musk and all that, their women don't work. Okay, so I think that he's doing that. But and I think why I say there could be some lessons that can be learned from what he said. Okay, I don't agree with him. The part where I think that he could have done it so much better. Okay, and I don't agree with what he considers to be important.
Yeah.
Okay, but let me give you an example. Let's say you're the wife of a top performer. Okay.
Like who?
Like a top performer career wise.
Businessman.
Okay, so let's say your husband runs a company,
multi-billionaire company.
let's say a multi-million-dollar company, and let's say he is looking for investors, and tomorrow morning he's got an important investment meeting. Let's say you are in this situation. A potential investor wants to invest $5 million in his company. And let's say you know this as a wife, right? Would you ask him, let's say, and the baby wakes up in the middle of the night, would you ask him to go and change the diapers or make milk or what?
I would ask him to get me a maid.
Okay, no, maids don't work like 3 a.m. in the morning, like, kan?
Oh, okay.
So let's say, so you know this.
Then have one.
So you wouldn't wake up and do the chores by
Okay
yourself?
I would. Yeah. So I will sleep in the morning, then the maid.
I think any reasonable wife who knows that the husband has something extremely important the next day to attend to, and that something important is not just for him, it's for the benefit of the entire family in a financial sense, then I think the logical, reasonable thing to do is to actually take care of the
correct.
of the things at home so that he can focus on what he has to do.
And that's fair. Because he is providing everything,
Yeah,
and he needs to focus on that thing, kan?
So I cannot imagine if Muhammad Salah has an important Premier League game tomorrow, and the night before he's changing diapers. I mean, so I'm talking about men at the top of their game, right? So I'm talking about elite men at the top of their careers and multi-million-dollar business owners and all that. In that sense, I think it is in the interest of the family that the woman takes care of the kids lah, and you don't burden the men unnecessarily, right? But when, let's say, growing up, it is also important that the father spends time with the child, and he doesn't dispute that, right? In fact, he does say very clearly that the father is the one who can make the boy a man, right? Yeah. So I think that's why I say, if you want to understand people, you have to understand the definitions that they use, the terms that they use, and the context that they are talking about, right? And we cannot apply our specific, unique context to what he's saying. At the same time, he also shouldn't be giving.
No, because if he gives this kind of macam generic advice, but then he just quotes like the 5% of the population, then it's not relatable to the majority. And then macam I would imagine macam if someone yang baru habis beranak, and then she also has to go to work in 3 months' time, and then the man sees this video, see, tengok, nampak, men tak payah jaga anak, you know. So, so and a lot of men are like that. A lot of men doesn't want to take care of their children. They would like macam play games, lepak dengan kawan, and etc. Kan? And macam the woman yang suffer tau. It's not fair lah. Macam siapa Taklah. Tak apa, you still jaga anak, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, so I think a few things have to be said about this video. You have to understand, first of all, how he defines important, and you have to know what kind of families he's talking about. And I think the situation is completely different for dual income families, where the father really has to be involved. You cannot expect your wife to work the whole day and then after that.
Yeah. Like I said, I think it's about having mercy on each other. Macam for example kan, tadi you cakap pasal the guy has something important to do, and then macam there are families yang the guy acknowledge that the woman is a high flyer, so he allows the woman to work, then he stays at home. He takes care of children.
I have a good friend like that.
Yeah, so macam it's about supporting each other where they are lacking. And macam for example that time kan, during my postpartum, okay lah, you provide for the family. We are single income family, so the during postpartum too, we had a nanny, and then the second month, I felt like my body has yet to recover tau, and I felt so burnt out, but I felt so guilty to seek help from you. Okay, because you are focusing on that, so I should be managing the household, but I felt that I couldn't.
Because you also understand that I got important things to do outside lah kan.
Okay. Yeah, but then macam I didn't ask for your help, but you were the one who helped out. You know, macam so I felt like macam
you don't have to praise me.
I'm not praising you. I'm saying it's important to support each other where they are lacking. When you see your wife macam in a bad state macam tu, have mercy on her, be compassionate, and it's about.
So you're saying not all men do this?
Of course not.
No wonder lah, so many people are triggered.
Yeah, that's why. And then I think it's important to marry someone. That's why it's important to marry someone with good akhlak, with a good heart. Because macam if you macam nak be so calculative, oh you didn't do this, you didn't do that, then the marriage will be very dry and very sour. So it's about compassion.
I think both sides. I think women also have to realise that your men really go through a lot, and many men struggle at work, struggle.
Habis women also struggle at work.
Yeah. So everyone's struggling.
That's why I say it's vice versa. Dua-dua kena ada compassion on each other. Then when macam I'm lacking, you support me. When you are lacking, I'm supporting you also.
But a lot of men keep it to themselves tau.
Eh.
Keep it pent up, tak apa. I have to struggle, I have to fight for my family and all that.
Jadi you
I don't have anything much to keep. Okay, anyway.
You don't have anything much to keep.
Yeah, so anyway, I think some we have to, if you want to understand what people are saying online, you really have to know, you have to perhaps comprehend what they're saying and the definitions that they're using.
But I think this guy is confused also lah.
No, he appears confused because you all okay lah. I think part of it is a bit confusing ah.
Yeah,
Seems like he's confused.
and maybe he doesn't have the proper guidance, like you know, the Islamic guidance also, because whatever that he quotes is based on his experience and his grandfather 40 years ago. So it's not based on Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That's the problem.
No, but I mean, just because he's Muslim, you cannot expect that every piece of advice he gives is linked to Islam ah.
Yeah,
right?
But in this world, Islam is to show us guidance on how to navigate this life. So the best guidance, the best advice and person we should look to is the Prophet and the Quran.
Sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Quran. If you look at any like inspirational figures, they are humans. They may be flawed, but Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they are not flawed. So if you want to have life advice, don't base on your experience. Don't base on what you see or hear. It may be flawed. Look at the examples in the Quran. Yeah, tu je.
Good. There's lots to learn from. Yeah, but people should still try and understand things better. Masih. Okay, bye.